Sean to the finish.
Oh my God!
Just to kind of go on that, I know you don't like to look too far into the future, but Marlon Vera was in here yesterday, and he was really honest about it. And he's like, the best thing, my life becomes much easier if Sean wins the belt because we have a history and all of that. Is there a particular outcome on Saturday that's better for you, you think?
I think just for the division in general. I mean, Cheeto's not going to get a title fight after this, I don't think. Like, that kind of, I mean...
Sean wants that. If they
Yeah, that's some, like, weak sauce, man. Ain't that some weak sauce? Like, you want to fight the guy that other people are beating, you know? Like, that's like, I don't know, that kind of bothers me about the way that O'Malley thinks a little bit is this, and it's not even just O'Malley, just kind of the way that sometimes the sport is set up where it's like, take the easiest fight for the least amount of money type stuff. Like, that's gonna ruin some stuff, man. And it's gonna, like, don't you want to, when you win the belt, say that you're the actual best because you fought the best guys? Like, that's my approach to the whole thing. I think that it's like, you know, a little bit better of a way to live, but everyone can do their own thing. But I think if O'Malley wins, that would be better for the division because Sterling doesn't get to just leave without, you know, losing. If O'Malley wins, then, like, we get, like, a chance to, like, prove that we're the best because he beat the best guy, blah, blah, blah. So I think that would be the best for the division.
And who do you think actually wins that fight on Saturday?
I'm going to root for O'Malley, but I think Sterling's going to win.
Neil, over here to your left. Neil, over to your left.
On the left.
Obviously, we weren't expecting to speak with you, you know, a week ago, but that's what you do. You're a true BMF. You're always stepping up, taking fights on a week's notice. Are you ever not ready to take a fight on short notice?
I mean, honestly, like, the question would be, am I ever actually ready for a fight? Like, I know this fight came together on a week's notice, but in reality, based off everything else that took place in my life over the last 7 months or so, I feel like I'm better prepared for this fight than I was my last 2 fights earlier this year. Life itself has taken a toll on me over the last couple months, and I feel like now I'm finally in a place of, like, clarity where I'm able to, like, go out and actually focus on the fight itself and not feel like I have all this baggage and everything else weighing on my shoulders going into the fight. Right now, like, literally the only job I have is to go out there, corner Austin Hubbard, turn right back around, go out there and have a great fight of my own. And having those only 2 things to worry about going into a fight, I feel like that's going to allow me to have one of the best performances ever, especially after the last 7 months for me. I mean, this is a great opportunity, a great lineup, a great matchup. Everything is lined for this fight. We can go out there and do great.
So when he was here, obviously he has a very big personality. He was a little meaner than they've kind of hinted at. He called you irrelevant. What's your response to that?
I mean, to each his own. Say what you want to say, but Saturday night, I'm going to literally, I won't even say beat, I'm going to spank that ass. It's literally look like a dad taking to his son. That's what it's going to look like. And, like, it kind of excites me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, like, everyone's only as good as the last fight. My last fight was split decision win, so I'm sure some people sit back and look at it like, oh, like, that fight wasn't the greatest. The fight was this, the fight was that. But at the end of the day, like, I know what I was going through during that time through that fight, and I know how much that fight meant to me. I know where I'm at mentally now and what I'm capable of. And Saturday night is going to be almost hysterical watching him cry. Like, it's gonna be that fun for me. Like, it's gonna be a great opportunity.
One of the concerns that you had when this fight got announced, it wasn't that you didn't want to fight O'Malley, you didn't want to fight in Boston, but that August 19th date, since you've been very active, and you didn't really know how your body was going to hold up and if it was going to be fit for that date. Now that the date is just a few days away, can you talk about your health and your body and how this quick turnaround was for you?
I feel good, man. I think we gave ourselves enough time. The way we did our training, we worked around the things that were lingering from the last fight and the fight before that, and we healed up as best as we could, and I think we did a pretty damn good job. So maybe I'm like Wolverine, I don't know, but I feel good, man. I'm excited about this. I really am, and I'm glad we were able to have a sit down with the UFC brass and figure out everything and make everything right. And now we have a huge fight for Boston, for the East Coast, to keep the bantamweight division moving. And I don't know, it's there's a lot to take in with this, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I think keeping me more active sooner rather than later just keeps me a little bit sharper. And to already have gone in there for 25 minutes, the matchup with TJ traveling and doing all these extra things, I think it's gonna just more than prepare me for the night on August 19th. Like, I've been here before, I've done it. I just need to go out there and prove it again, what I know, what my team knows. And I don't want to say shock the world, but I don't know. I do feel like maybe people are doubting me still. I don't know. This is a good opportunity to really just solidify my legacy and everything that I've accomplished thus far.
Is Saturday night your last fight at 135 pounds?
I'm gonna wait till the fight's over, see how I do. I do plan on thoroughly smashing this dude up, something serious. And after that, maybe I'll drink a couple Happy Dads. They'll give me a sponsorship instead, and maybe the Noke boys will be hanging out with me and dropping Sean. We'll see, but we'll see how this fight goes. I do my job. I do it with stop points. I'll be looking at and having my sights set at 145.
And right now, Volkanovski has no title defense booked. A lot of people think that Ilya
Perfect
is
timing.
next. Do you think you can surpass him and end up fighting for the belt next at 145?
I think the timing could work out. It just really depends on how this fight goes. I mean, maybe Sean is so well prepared that this fight ends up becoming a war more than I expect it to be. You know, I'm expecting the best Sean O'Malley to show up. Proper takedown defense. I'm sure he brought in great guys. Even though he said he hasn't, I'm sure he's not that dumb. I'm pretty sure he brought in some high-level training. He's brought some good wrestlers in. And I know some of the wrestlers that he trains with. So we'll see. We'll see how the fight plays out, and we'll go from there. I don't like to count the birds in the bush, man. I like the birds in hand. So let me deal with this, get through this guy the way I think that I can, look good doing it, and then from there, I think I'd be hard to deny.
What's going through your mind right now with this being a title fight? Does this feel different compared to most other fight weeks?
Every fight I've had, I've always imagined that I was actually fighting a champion. So I'm in a good place. My head is in a good place, and I'm ready to bring a belt in.
This is a really interesting matchup in a lot of ways, and with the main event having so much heat on it, it almost feels like this fight is flying under the radar a little bit. Have you noticed that as well? And do you feel like you, as the challenger, are flying under the radar?
Surely, and you know, people may not be talking about it now, but they will be talking about it afterwards because it's going to be a war and it's going to be historic.
Zhang has looked really good, especially in her last fight with Carla to regain the title. A lot of people feel like she's peaking right now and that she's in the prime of her career. Do you agree with that? Have you been impressed with what she's been able to do over these last couple of fights?
Surely, Weili's coming very strong, a complete athlete, and again, very strong coming up, but I'm going to show that I'm stronger, and on Saturday, I'm going to show who is actually the strongest in the division.